This is Mazda's latest hot hatch, the 3 MPS. It's only the second 3 to bear the Mazda Performance Series badge, but it's the first one that's had the guts to really shout about it. Its predecessor hid its wolf-like nature in some proverbial sheep's clothing, but this new MPS positively flaunts its spoilers, bonnet scoop and twin exhausts. And it's got every reason to show off, because not only has it got a bigger engine, more power and more torque than its arch rival, the VW Golf GTI, but it's also $2,000 cheaper. And it's got a bigger boot. In the hot hatch world, performance is a big issue, so it's just as well that that is one of this Mazda's strongest points. Its 2.5-litre 4-cylinder engine has 256 brake horsepower, and that helps it get to 62 miles an hour in 6.1 seconds. That's almost a whole second quicker than the Golf. The Focus RS, though, is faster still. Now, giving a front-wheel drive car more than 200 brake horsepower is a total waste in my book, because the byproduct of sending too much torque and too much power through the front tyres is torque steer, where that front wheels just spin up and try and pull you off course. It's not a particularly nice sensation. Even though Mazda has fitted a limited slip differential and controlled the amount of torque available in the first 3 gears, you still have to hang on to that steering wheel when you're going for it. There's minimal turbo lag as you accelerate, and once you get to about 2,500, 3,000 RPM, then the power comes in instantly on demand, all the way up to 7,000. Much of the Mazda 3's chassis DNA comes from the Ford Focus, though the suspension has been feckled to firm things up and give it an individual setup. With the addition of that limited slip, a larger anti-roll bar, high-performance dampers and a 5mm drop in ride height, it seems as though the Mazda has been well thought through. But in reality, it hasn't. It's not as refined or as sure-footed as a Golf. It's unruly and raw, but in a perverse kind of way, that's what makes it fun. You always have to be on top of this car, and particularly on top of that torque steer, because you don't know quite which way it's going to head. It's exciting, it's exhilarating, it makes you feel alert, it makes you use your brain. And the ride, it's so bouncy, you never get a minute to relax. If you want an easy ride, don't buy this car. The Mazda lets itself down though with the interior, and for all that chunky jewellery on the outside, the only glamour inside is this red stitching, which does little to lift the rather boring black and silver plastics. And it's not particularly clean, chucking out 225 grams per kilometre of carbon dioxide. That's 55 grams more than the VW. And it only manages 29 mpg on average. The Golf does almost 39. In fact, when stationary, it's difficult to see how anyone can turn their back on the smarter looking, classy badged German rival in favour of this MPS. The one big thing that saves it from being totally overshadowed, though, is its price. £21,500 is a cheap entry into the hot hatch market, and it comes loaded with goodies. Cruise control, air conditioning and a Bose stereo system are all fitted as standard. It is fantastic value, and sometimes you just can't argue with that.